Alright guys, today we're going to talk about converting measurements within the customary system. The customary system is a system that is used mostly in the United States, and the system actually is kind of difficult because there's not any patterns to the conversions that you are going to memorize. They are just numbers that you have to memorize so that you can use them. For example, if we're measuring length in the customary unit, we can measure it in inches, feet, yards, miles, and each of those convert to the other with a number that is not so nice. So there are 12 inches in a foot, 3 feet in a yard, 5,280 feet in a mile, and 1,760 yards in a mile. Capacity would be your ounces, cups, pints, quarts, and gallons, and mass and weight are ounces, pounds, and tons. No matter what, whether we are converting within the customary system or in the metric system, the rules are pretty much the same. So whenever we're converting measurements, anytime we go from a larger unit to a smaller unit, so larger to smaller, we multiply. When you think about that, if I measure the room is 12 feet long and I want to change that into inches, since inches are smaller, it's going to take more of them. So in order to get more of them, we would multiply. And if we want to go from a smaller unit to a larger unit, we then would divide. This is a great picture that you may want to write down so that you can use as you continue to do some practice problems today and as you prepare for the Math March Madness that will be taking place over the next month, which you'll learn about on Friday. So on today, this is the notes paper that you have in front of you, and what we're going to do is we're going to do some practice problems, and then I'm going to let you go ahead and look at the ones at the bottom. So for example, if I had 7 feet and I wanted to change that into inches, I would go ahead and look back at my chart, and I know that feet is larger than inches, so I'm going to go from a larger unit to a smaller unit, which means I'm going to multiply. So large to small, multiply all. So there are 12 inches in a foot, so I know that 7 times 12 is 84. That means that there are 84 inches in 7 feet. If I have 12 quarts and I want to know how many gallons that is, this time we have a smaller unit that we want to move to a bigger unit, and therefore we would need to divide. So because there are 4 quarts in a gallon, I'm going to do 12 divided by 4, showing you that there are 3 gallons. 12 quarts is the same as 3 gallons. Sometimes, however, just like the example on your paper, the 42 quarts into cups, sometimes that's not just one conversion over. So let's take a look at that together. And we have 42 quarts, and we want to change it, and we want to know how many cups that is. Well, if we look at our conversions up here, if I have quarts to cups, we don't have a conversion. So I'm going to first have to change it into pints. So 4 quarts, there are 2 pints in each quart. And because I'm going from a bigger unit to a smaller unit, I'm going to be multiplying. So I'm going to do 42 quarts, and I'm going to multiply it by 2 to give me 84 pints. So now I have 84 pints, and I want to change that into cups. And there are 2 cups in each pint. So I'm going to take the 84 pints and multiply it by 2 to give me 168 cups. So 168 cups is the same as 42 quarts. So again, sometimes when we convert, we can't just go from one unit to the other. You might have to take a couple steps in order to get there. So hopefully you can try the others at the bottom. Go ahead and try them on your own. Hit pause at this time, and in just a few seconds after you've solved those problems, I will have the answers for you so that you can check your work. Okay, hit pause now. Okay, so hopefully you've taken enough time and you have checked over your work. So you can see that 42 quarts is 168 cups, 384 ounces is 3 gallons, 15 pounds is 240 ounces, and 180 inches is equal to 5 yards.